and it gives it more strength for us to work on.
Hi guys, Brett here from Hearns Hobbies, and today I've got BJ with me, and we are doing a collaboration build of this Hasegawa Lancia Stratos. Is that right?
Stradale, that's it.
Stradale, you just love saying that.
It's actually part 3 this time, and we've been working on the body, and the last one we're actually working on part of the chassis. So we've got the subframe here.
Why am I holding this box?
Because it's pretty. Okay, so we're going to be preparing more of the body. So as we explained earlier, we're working slowly on the body because we want that really nice. Now you can see here we've had 2 thinnish sort of coats.
Finish or finish?
Thinnish.
Thinnish, right.
So not from
not from
Finland.
Okay. Thought we're doing Scandinavian painting.
I don't know, we could do that next time around, I guess. We're going to look into that. But it's still a bit patchy, and it's still a little bit rough where we've sanded all the, what do you call it, mould lines.
I'm going to rub it again.
Yeah, you should rub it. Rub it with something pretty fine. 8,000 or 10,000. Because I'll just get the reflection right. You see that from the top camera. The reflection there from the studio lights looks pretty good, but it actually has quite a few scratches, like fine micro scratches in it. And as we build up the coats of paint are going to be filling those in, and then we rub it back, get a smooth finish, and then eventually we're going to get a full mirror finish, and it'll be finished off with clear.
Mirror finish.
Mirror finish. Going to see our smiling faces in it. So you can see across the bottom
Well,
there.
I'll be smiling.
Will you?
Smiling by the end of it. Let's
okay,
go.
so I'll give you that. You can work on that.
I'll give it a good rub.
Yep, rubbish. Okay, let's move this sort of out of the way.
So where am I starting? Starting on the roof? Where do you start?
Do the rough bits. I'll look at the rough bits first. So the roof is pretty rough now, right?
Yeah.
So just a gentle rubbing.
Rub.
Hardly any downwards pressure.
Ooh, downward dog.
So give it a little light rub. So what you're trying to do is
and what am I looking for?
So you want the scratches to look even.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's still really coarse and deep, well, basically you just want to rub it a bit more until you get them looking fine.
Maybe the sandpaper's a bit much. Maybe I've gone down to 10,000.
10,000?
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, is it buffing any of those lines?
Well, it's definitely
scratches?
getting more of a consistent finish.
Yep. So it's looking glossier?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So that's what you want. You want the reflection to look glossier, because that means that the surface is getting flatter. Now in the meantime, I've got this here, which is the chassis and the subframe. So this is a rear engine. We've got
Did you say subframe?
Maybe. That happens sometimes.
Does it?
I mispronounce words and I just keep going. Hopefully no one picks it up.
I'm here, mate, to point out all your flaws.
Alright, okay. And then we've got the engine bit here. So we glued that, but I think we didn't apply enough glue on there. It's a little bit loose, so I'm going to apply just a touch, just to hold it together.
The last thing we want is a loosey-goosey engine.
That's right. This is a high-performance machine. No loosey-goosey here. Okay, now as I apply the glue, this is probably going to want to come apart, and it has.
Why is that?
Because when you apply glue is actually a solvent, so it actually softens the joint from before, and it weakens it until it hardens again when it dries. So for the moment, let's just push it together like that.
Doing a lot of rubbing.
Bit of rubbing?
I can't believe how uneven it is.
Yeah, but that's the idea of the rubbing. So
is it? To even it up?
Unevenness is a lot easier to notice on a smaller model. And so that's why a bit of care taken in doing the bodywork will really pay dividends when we finish it off. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, this is also going to be partly body coloured. So to get the colour all pretty consistent, I'm going to be priming this, and I'll prime it with a white primer. Idea with the white primer is when I'm spraying on the red, it's not going to change the red colour too much. And also, I need a primer in there anyway, because on the interior, quite a lot of it's going to be brush painted, and it'll be a lot easier to paint on a slightly rougher surface.
Brush painted?
Yeah, we're going to brush paint most of the detail on this.
I didn't sign up for that.
Didn't you? Well, too bad. We're on a roll.
Are we?
Yep. So I'm going to get this primer here. Let me leave
Barn
it over.
me.
Barn you. Are you hungry?
Barn me. I'm on a roll.
Ah, yeah. I like them too. Now, move along. So we've got our primer here. So this is the fine type. Now there's the standard surface primer, which is quite coarse.
Coarse?
Yep. And we want the fine one because we don't want it to be too bumpy. Now, if you're familiar with the Mr. Colour ranges of paints, they have their surfaces or primers marked in different grits. So the coarse one to me is similar to the 500, got quite a bit of texture, and this one's probably closer to a 1000, which is quite smooth.
And that's where we want to be, 1000.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so that equates to about a 1000 grit paper when you're sanding it back. Okay, so just giving it a bit of a swirl. So I'm doing the Japanese swirl here.
Japanese swirl.
You like the Mexican method, right?
Mexican backhand.
Yeah. So let's do this. So whether you do this or you don't like that, the idea behind this one is it's meant to incorporate less big bubbles. Okay, so let's move my mag visor there. I'm just going to stick this into my spray booth here. Now I want to concentrate around the back there because it's all black, and this is the engine component too, so we'll prime that, get that all lightened up. You good to go?
Yeah, I'm just rubbing away, mate. I'm just trying to concentrate on what I'm doing.
I'm going to try not to get anything over here, right?
Why? Paint over there.
Yeah. Oh, actually, we've got to turn it on.
Put the spray booth on.
Let me turn on the spray booth.
Our extraction system.
Yep. And it probably would help if I had a battery here. No battery? I'll be back.
Uh-oh. We got a bit of bat flattery. Meanwhile, it's left me at the helm, and I'm just rubbing away.
I'm back.
Trying to get it. Are you?
I'm back.
Did you find it?
I've got power. Alright,
you are the power.
Let's hook up this power.
There's a lot of rubbing going on over here. I'm not sure.
Alright, so I'll put that on. There's a lot of rubbing.
Yeah.
It's looking alright?
I'm not sure. I've never done it before, so I've got nothing to gauge it up.
Alright, so I'm going to spray this primer. I'm concentrating on the darker parts first, because obviously the white plastic is going to be very easy to cover with the primer.
Oh, she's a bit stinky.
What's that?
That water-based primer.
Well, it should be, because it's not water-based.
Ah!
Okay, so we've got that. Now, I might just grab it from the end where I didn't spray and show you. So
you know what would be good? Some clips.
Clips, yeah, some painting clips, yeah. So from the top you'll be able to see. So that back section was all black, like here. Now I'll spray that top section. You can see how it's already changed tone. Okay, so I'm going to be moving the direction of this so I can get to all these angles. And eventually we'll get that looking almost pure white. It doesn't have to be totally pure, but close to. The same sort of thing with the engine block I've got here. I'm just going to flip that around. You won't see that it's in the booth, but I'm just going to come from a different angle. I think it's all looking pretty good.
You happy with that, mate?
Yeah. I'm going to use my knife to maneuver things around.
Sometimes I use chopsticks.
Chopsticks?
Yeah.
Sometimes I use chopsticks for eating my dumplings.
Oh. I do
They taste different to eating them with a fork.
Well, you don't want to put stainless steel on your palate. What are you, a madman?
Some people like the taste of stainless steel. Obviously not you.
No.
Alright, so I'm just spinning this around, giving a little bit of...
Do you eat dessert with a fork or a spoon?
Depends on the dessert.
No, fork.
What? Every kind?
Well, ice cream, fork.
You like it with a fork?
Yeah. Keep going, mate.
What about jelly?
Jelly, fork.
I want to see that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't reckon you could do it. I think you're making that up.
No.
Alright, so I'm going to let's switch this off.
I know the racket's deafening.
Is it? You couldn't hear. So while you're doing that, I'm going to do some more preparation on the figure. I've got some putty here now. So I've got this putty. This is the Tamiya white putty. Again, this is very similar to the primer. In a way, this is actually a concentrated version of this primer. So this is also lacquer based, and you can actually thin this with lacquer thinners and spray it if you wanted to, and it'd be like a primer.
Really?
Yep. So a very fine grit in this. So to me, I actually make two types of putty. There's a grey one, which is the traditional one that's been around for a long, long time. It actually comes out quite gritty, and it's really good for doing cast metal effects. Quite often used for doing the textures on tanks.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the white, which is the finer one. And this is great for doing or filling gaps on anything where it's smooth. So whether it's bodywork like this, or whether it's figurines like this works better. Okay, so I'm going to take this out. You may remember last time around I was sanding it down, and some of the mold lines I couldn't get rid of because they're a little on the deformed side, so I need a little bit of putty. So I'm going to...
You promised me you weren't going to spend this whole episode fettling over the figurine.
Well, I haven't. I've already done some painting on the...
And that's it?
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, so here's my advisor. Probably need some lenses in there, that'll probably help.
Only if you want to see closer.
Yeah. If I don't, then I just put them on with no lenses in it, and it'll be unchanged. Alright, so here we go.
Better than being unhinged.
Unhinged? Yeah, you're a bit unhinged, aren't you? Okay, so I've got one of these old blades here. I quite like the old blades because
Why?
less chances of hurting myself. And I don't particularly want a sharp blade when I'm applying putty onto the figure because I don't want to actually scratch the figure. And if you use an old blade, it's blunt like this. So it makes for a nice like scraper for the putty.
You must have got that from my hobby knife.
Could have been. Are you missing it?
I'm not allowed sharp knives.
It's been... Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Alright, so this stuff comes out like toothpaste. So as I squeeze it, a little bit is going to come out. Is that? Actually, I squeeze it a bit too much.
Is it stinky?
It is stinky, it's really stinky.
Is it?
Yep. So it smells the same as regular sort of paint. Alright, so let's just make sure I'm here to see. Alright, so the side of this thigh, I'm just going to apply it like this. It doesn't have to be super smooth because we're going to be sanding this off. And the advantage of this putty is it's actually much softer than the resin or the plastic that you're going to apply to it. So it's very easy to sand. And that means it's difficult to cover up any detail. And if it does cover up detail, you can actually just put on some lacquer thinner with a brush and you'll be able to dilute it. Okay, so you can see there, I've sort of, it's pretty heavy, yeah?
Very heavy.
It's been put on, it looks a bit like icing, I guess.
I think,
okay, so we'll do
I think you hosed it on like a chimp.
like a chimp. Well, that I would have learnt that from you. Okay, so I'll put a bit on inside here as well.
I think that's wonderfully sanded now.
Is it? You reckon it's ready for another coat? Can I
We
trust you with this?
We need a tack cloth.
You want a tack cloth? We do actually have a tack cloth. Couldn't tell you where it is though. It's around somewhere.
What have we got? Here we go.
Yeah.
Link free.
Is that the tack cloth? Oh, that's not actually the tack cloth. I actually got a real tack cloth.
What's a real tack cloth?
There's another tack cloth by God Hand. But like I said at the beginning, I was trying to use as little special materials as possible.
So should I put thinners or anything on this?
Thinners? Are you a madman? No, if you put thinners on that, it's going to ruin the paint job.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to make sure that I've got no greasy mitt prints on there or anything.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
What about alcohol, IPA?
IPA can help.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can I put that on?
IPA or... The thing that a lot of people don't realise is when you're sanding a lot on plastic, you can create a lot of static electricity. And the downside of static electricity is...
Makes your hair stand up.
Apart from that, it attracts dust, which will get stuck in our paint. I don't really want that. Okay, so I've done that. I've coated the leg and sides of the arms. Now that inside arm's got a little bit, that should be fine. Put that over there. Finish off this bit. This part of the leg's not too bad. Now with this putty, it's on pretty rough now, so we don't really know if we've covered everything yet. So after we do the first sand, we'll be able to work it out.
I think it's good.
I think it's good.
Shake and bake. What can I build? Do you want me to fix that leg up?
Are you good at surgery?
Yep. Geez, you're really going to town there, aren't you?
Yeah. So you see along here, this line here, just need to apply that and just do the scrapage along there. Yeah? That's starting to
I think
go hard.
I think
You might want some fresh stuff. Get some fresh stuff out of there. Alright, so what am I doing here?
What do you do with the old stuff?
We can just... I'll put on the tissue, I guess. I reckon you've done a really good job with the top here, with the sanding.
You like it?
It's a lot better than it was before. I've got to be careful, there's a little bit of dust getting attracted to it, you know?
Geez, it goes off quite quick, doesn't it?
It does, very quick. It feels a lot like automotive spot putty. Okay, so I'm going to get this ready for another coat. Now with this, I'm going to move this chassis bit out of the way and we'll be putting some more white on that in a moment. Let's put that over there. Over the engine, let's put that over here. Alright, so let's give this a go.
It's got bigger thighs now, this girl.
Yep, added on a few pounds.
Yep.
Now,
is that what you wanted?
Where do you reckon the red is?
BJ's pocket.
Let's get tight, here we go. It's been warming up in my pocket. So this is what the red looks like now.
That's a leg done. Where do we put the leg to dry?
Oh, maybe just here. That'll be fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's not like you use the instructions anyway, clearly.
No.
Is there anything else that I need to bog up?
I don't think so. I think we're right. So here's a roof. So back there. So you guys still got a little bit of rippling happening, which eventually we'll reduce that as much as we can as we spray more. We'll see there's a bit of rippling there. It's actually coming up pretty good for two really thin coats. Over here you can see a little bit of the white underneath comes through after the sanding. So we'll concentrate on there a bit and cover that up a bit. So let's go into the third coat. Ready?
Third coat.
Third coat.
As opposed to the fur coat.
Third coat. That's alright, isn't it?
I'm not sure. Can we do another coat on this one?
We can do after we do this. So
Alright.
I'm just going to spray the red first. We'll get this out of the way.
Put the paint booth on there, mate.
Yep, switched on.
Oh, boothy.
Boothy. Alright.
Oh, she's a goer.
Yep.
You're doing really well. I'm really pleased at how you've come along with this.
Thanks, man. This is a semi-wet coat, actually.
Semi-wet coat?
Yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at the reflection. You can see it, right? I don't think the viewers can see it.
No.
We can see how it's sort of spotty.
Yep.
Spray on a little bit more until it levels. See how it's leveling now?
Yep.
And that's basically what we want, sort of towards the wet coat as well. Let's just build it up a little bit. That's looking okay. Bottom here, that's looking okay. And
If you put it on too heavy, it might go a bit peely.
well, that's it.
Oh, the concentration's building.
We don't want it looking dry, right?
Well, that's going to include more sanding, isn't it? If you do it dry,
That's it.
it looks all peppery. It's pretty red.
It is, isn't it? So just keep looking back at it and looking at the reflection. So it looks okay. Now let's do the bonnet.
That new extraction system we fitted is awesome.
Definitely makes a difference, doesn't it?
Mm. I would not be going home with a red moustache today.
Red moustache. How's this looking?
I'm not sure.
I think it's looking okay.
Eh?
Yeah, I can see little fine bits of dust. Doesn't matter because the dust we can just buff out anyway with really fine paper. Okay, so if I bring it back here.
Oh, look at that gloss.
Okay, so this is actually going to look
Shiny.
glossy than
That is
it will
good.
when it's dry.
That is good straight off the gun.
It is. Okay, so what's going to happen is this will shrink as it dries.
Shrink?
Yep. And it will show up some more of the imperfections if there's still scratches on the bottom.
There's no imperfections there, mate.
No, not after you've been at it. But I think it's looking pretty good.
Are you happy with
It's
that?
looking alright, isn't it? Okay, but I think this... So that's a little bit dusty along there.
Bit dusty?
Yep.
That'll come out on coat number 8.
Yep.
I would have run out of paint by now.
Okay. I might put some more paint on there now. So it's a bit on the dry side.
Is it?
Yep.
Don't leave me hanging.
No. Right, let's turn this on.
You're scaring me. Don't go too heavy. What are you thinking, B? Don't go quiet.
Things good?
I think it's good.
Yep.
Calling it. That's it. Job done. See you next week.
Yep. So I think that's good. We're going to give that a bit more sanding.
Not now.
No. Okay, so you can see this is starting to pull back now as it's drying, and it is looking a bit fuzzy.
Bit hazy father.
Yep, so it needs a little bit of a buff after it's dry.
We'll turn the fan off.
Oh, you want the fan off?
We're going to do some more painting.
We will do some more painting, but how about I give you that, and you can hide that away.
I'll hide that.
Yep, take it away, and we're going to start working on this again.
Don't touch.
Okay, so you can see how this was actually black, and this is how white we've gotten it so far with a very thin coat.
I'd say it's almost grey.
It is, isn't it? It's a very light grey, okay, which is probably fine for what we're going to be doing.
What are we doing?
I think this is, can't remember now.
Engine.
This engine is being coloured what?
Are we
It's mainly black.
Are we going to use paper lines?
Okay.
Are we going to dry brush it?
What colour is this meant to be? If it's black, then I've just wasted my time priming it. Oh no, it's body colour. So there's body colour on this section here.
Yeah, but surely not the sun.
Not the sun.
No.
So I'll concentrate around here to make it red.
You're not going to mask it?
No. So we'll spray it all red, and then we'll brush paint all the rest of it.
Okay.
Yep. We can mask this. These bits on the side are going to be black. So I could mask across here and then spray paint that black. In the meantime, I'm going to add some more primer to it because it's still black under here. And then this will be ready for some red colour. Yeah?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
I concur.
You concur. Alright. So we've got the
To
primer
be
here.
fair.
Oh?
To be fair.
To be fair, to be fair. Alright, so I'm probably going to have to pick this up so I can get the angles right.
Yep. Get in there.
Yep.
Don't hold back. Doing beautiful there, BJ.
Oh yeah? Got a good coach.
Fur coat.
What?
We should go into cooking.
We should get into some cooking. What do you want to cook?
Hokkien noodles.
You like Hokkien noodles?
I love Hokkien noodles.
They're easy. Why are they called Hokkien noodles?
Because they're made by Mr. Hokkien. From the Hokkien province.
That's it.
Is it?
Yep. Panda will probably know about that. That's more from his end of town.
Not sure. I'll have to take your word for it.
Yeah, I reckon. I think that's enough.
Don't be irresponsible, mate. I think that's more than enough.
Yeah, it's probably a bit heavy on here. But it doesn't really matter.
I didn't want to say anything.
But you see that? Well,
Look how white it is.
well, there you go. Well, I'll have to do this.
Super white. Looks overexposed. That's how white it is.
Didn't take very much. So it's really dense white pigment in this primer. And you use that for converting dark colours. And this is the extreme. Like black to white. So it can get a really nice red coming through.
Good coverage?
It's pretty good coverage.
You happy with that?
Yep.
Lock
That's
it
enough.
in?
That's enough, I reckon.
Enough?
Yep. So that can dry. Just get over there. This one here, I reckon it's good enough to go red now. So
Red?
let's hit it with some red. Okay, it's just that bottom panel, right? Just next to the sump.
Do you need a turntable?
Turntable. I haven't got a turntable. Do we need a turntable? I don't think so.
You can have a tissue.
Tissue. Why?
To wipe your nose.
Oh, no, that's right.
Oh, that red looks magnificent, folks.
So it just glows now, right? Now, if we tried doing that on...
Black.
Yeah, it
Wouldn't glow.
No, it would look terrible. Okay, so I'm just spinning it around, using the knife to help me move it around. Now this is a pretty heavy coat, because that's all I'm going to do. You're barely going to see that anyway, unless we pick it up.
Barely there.
Yeah, but that's enough. Okay?
Calling it?
I'm calling it. That's good. Alright, so let's turn this off. So what have we got left?
We've got a bogged up leg. It's stuck to the instructions.
Is it?
A little bit.
Okay.
Stick it to the table.
Alright, so if we check this manual.
Manuel.
Yep. So what we're looking at here. So we've got the arms.
Instructions.
I've got a feeling I might have to bulk up the arms a little bit. No? They're alright. They're probably alright. Okay, so we've got a figure here. You've got a leg over there. That's all good. So we're going to look at the interior and stuff, right?
Ooh.
Now, what I would like to do...
Got my nippers in hand.
Have you?
Got a blunt knife.
I reckon I'm going to prime most of this stuff while it's still...
What colour?
Oh, probably not. How about I'll get you to cut off the bodywork. That's going to be black. Okay, so that's going to be the rear ducktail.
Ducktail.
The top spoiler.
Yep.
And what else is there?
What about the spare tyre thing? That's got to be black.
Oh, there's the louvers. We got the louvers there?
No, it must be in the box.
Louvers? And what colour are the seats? Seat surface colour.
Tan.
Doesn't say, it just says interior colour.
Yeah, but it depends what colour code you're doing.
What were we doing? I can't remember. Were we doing the same as the box?
I think tan.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen the box.
So it says interior colour plus 30, which is, what's 30? Flat base. Oh, so it's got to be matte.
Well, you don't want it shiny.
No. Okay.
You have terrible window glare.
Body colour, interior colour. Okay, so we're going to... Okay, so let's do the firewall.
Why do you think they call it a firewall?
It keeps a fire on the other side. Is that right?
Sure.
Or it keeps a fire on your side. Get confused sometimes. Oh, here you go. Here's the louvers and the louvers and stuff.
Louvers. It sounds French.
Yep. Is that it? I'll get you to chop off those 3 big chunky bits here. And then...
Chunkamunkers.
Chunkamunkers. And then where's the roll cage bits on the back? The struts. Engine struts are here.
We'll call them BJ.
Engine struts.
You like to strut about.
Pouty lips and all.
Louvers. Firewall.
Louver, firewall, and that big chunky bit there.
Yeah?
Yeah. That goes in the back of the engine bay. What colour is that meant to be?
Engine bay.
Engine bay colour?
Definitely.
What's 92? That's probably black.
Really? It's an odd colour
Yeah,
code for black. I would call it like 1 or 2.
Yep. So what I reckon, we'll get all the black bits together, because we'll just spray paint all the black bits together. Okay, so we've got the top of the dash as well. Top of the dash, I'll get you the top of the dash. What about the actual dash? What colour is that?
Tan.
Probably, yeah? Alright, so I'll get you to cut out the dash cover and the dash.
Dash moustache. Have you got dash? Get some dash.
You selling me dash.
Dash.
Now the wheels, we're going to need some gold.
I'm not sold on gold wheels.
Aren't you? But they came with gold wheels. Which seats are we using?
The driver's seat.
That's these ones. Are they? It'll be the wider one.
Which ones would you like?
K19. That's them, isn't it? Oh, it is them.
It's the key parts.
Okay. Alright, so if you can chop the seats.
Chop chop.
Yep.
What about the gear shift boot?
Yeah.
Is that going to be tan?
So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the center console, and then we're going to glue in the handbrake and the gear shift. So we're making a little sub-assembly so it's easier for us to work on, and it gives it more strength. Now I'm just checking the putty that's on this figure, so it's going to need a little bit more time before we can sand it. If we don't give it enough time, it's just going to clog up the sandpaper. I'm looking at that. Looks
So
okay.
you don't want it to have like cottage cheese legs, do you?
No.
Could be all like lumpy.
Is that a thing?
What?
Cottage cheese legs.
Oh. I'm not sure.
What
What are you doing?
Oh, do you need this?
You've taken my lifeblood.
I just need to scrape off these arms a bit.
Haha.
Oh, you got another one?
I got Alberta.
What? Have you named all the tools?
No.
Alright, so I'm just scraping this arm.
This is the one that Nan uses.
What do you mean?
I'm trying not to cut myself.
You talk about Nan a lot, don't you? You're trying to not you cut yourself. So I'm just noticing that I hadn't scraped back this arm.
Well, that wasn't very good.
No. This is
nice.
going to need a bit of
It's nice blunt.
cutting in there.
Very nice. Very nice.
It's looking good.
To be sure.
To be sure, to be sure.
Hasegawa.
Hasegawa. Good stuff, eh?
I wouldn't know.
Alright.
Well, it's my first one.
Yeah, I'm telling you it's good.
Alright.
Trust me,
I
I'm a
don't know
doctor.
I don't know that I trust you.
Why?
Because you have funny glasses on.
Can't help it, I need them.
If you use 120 grit, it goes a bit furry.
It does. What goes furry?
Plastic.
Ah, why are you using 120 grit?
Well, I thought that would be more efficient.
Right, take off more material.
Yeah.
Well, it does take off more material. Only problem is probably more than you need.
I've got a nub.
You've got a nub? Okay, so I reckon that arm looks alright.
I've got 99 problems and this nub ain't one.
Really? Nice, I still got some old lines here.
I think by sanding this seat, it's actually going to give it a more textured finish.
Well, that's true too. And
Last thing
it'll
you
look good, I
want
think.
is a pleather seat.
Yeah.
The finest Italian Napa leather. Is that a
Italian?
thing? What's an Italian car, mate? No?
Is Scotland really famous for its leather?
I think you're making things up now.
No. Have I got that wrong, have I?
I don't know.
Alright, so I'm scraping this bag. Yeah.
How's she looking?
I think it's okay. This might need some putty, but we'll see.
Did you get rid of the doobity-doobiters?
Yeah, I did.
Last thing is that she wants is tuck shop arms. Is that right?
What are tuck shop arms?
With the doobity-doobiters.
You were terrible.
What? Well, you're the one modelling her. If she's got the doobity-doobiters, that's your fault.
I'm going to need a bit of putty to do that, aren't I? I don't think I'll do that.
No?
Nah. Nah. It's already been sculpted already. I'm not going to do huge resculpts, eh? Alright, so we're just cleaning up the hands here. Hands can be tricky because when you get around the fingers, you don't want to lose any of them.
Chop your finger off.
Well, that's it.
Hers or yours.
That's right.
Now, is it okay that I've sanded it? See, it's gone like all matte.
What? Yeah, Matt's good. That's right.
Matt's alright.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Got a bit of a
Because when we put the primer on it, the primer's going to re-texture it again. It's going to smooth it off a bit.
Just got this little injection moulding mark here. And I know that if I didn't do it, you'd shout at me.
I wouldn't shout very loudly.
Unlike the other person that lets me build with them.
They shout really loudly.
Yeah, really
Do
loud.
they?
What are you doing, Beej?
I'm just cleaning up in between the fingers here. Because there's a little bit of webbing from the mould.
Webbed fingers?
Yeah. I'll just clean it up, make it look a bit more natural.
El natural.
That's right.
Yeah?
I want it looking natural. Okay, so here we go. Now what we do with resin figures is we try to assemble them as much as possible first. It gives them more strength.
But
And
you
also
have to
allows
use
you
special
to-
glue.
You do. You're going to use super glue. And it also allows you to reduce any of the gaps that may be present.
I'm really getting into this.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You loving it?
It's the tiniest little mark and I'm just being persistent. I keep going between the 240 and the 400. But I don't want to take too much.
400 is one of my favourite grits.
Is it? Is it your favourite?
Removes quite a lot.
Without too much?
Yeah. And then you can finish off quite quickly with something smoother.
I'm really giving it heaps.
You're giving it heaps.
Yeah.
Alright, so we do have a bit of a mark here, eh?
Oh, just so tiny. It's minuscule, but I can't leave it now.
No?
I've got to get in there deeper.
Right. Where's the arm going to be? So, because this locating pin's changed shape on me.
Has it?
Yep. So I normally pin all these joins anyway. So
Why?
it gives a lot more strength. Because with super glue, it's very stiff, right? So if you give it a sharp knock, it'll just break straight across that joint. And if you pin it, it'll spread that, and there's less chances of the arm like breaking off, which can happen.
That won't happen.
No, it's not going to happen to you.
You'll be gentle with her. You're gentle and caring with your models.
I am. Try to be.
Not like Huey.
Huey? Who's Huey? Hey? Who's Huey?
Hey?
Who's Huey?
I don't want to say.
Don't you?
No, I went too far.
Really?
I've said too much.
Have you? Oh, it's a good thing I didn't know what you're talking about.
I know.
Alright, so I don't know which direction this arm's meant to be. So we've got a locating mark which is in there. But I really don't.
I'm done.
Are you?
Oh. Does
it feel good?
Oh, it's so good.
How good's that? Well, so you've done both seats already?
No, just one mate.
Oh.
Calm down. Calm down, Beach.
Well,
Don't steal my thunder now. I'm going to go at it with a blunt knife first.
You are?
Yeah, there was an awful lot of material that I had to take away.
I think I'm going to have to cut.
Don't worry, viewers, if I go missing from this picture in about 2 minutes, it's because I've sliced the end of my finger off.
I'm sure you'll be screaming.
No.
You don't scream?
You got the super glue ready?
What, for putting you together?
Yeah. Cough, colds and sore holes.
I don't know what to say.
She doesn't look very comfortable like that.
What, upside down?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like one of those yoga moves, isn't it?
The hidden panda.
Is that like the forgetful lotus?
The forgetful lotus?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's taking a turn. Taking a turn.
You haven't done that move before.
I'm going to have to Google it.
Happens to me quite often in my old age.
Does it?
Yeah. Alright, so I'm
Well,
just
I've learned
trimming.
something today. The forgetful lotus
That's right.
and the hidden panda.
Can't say we don't have fun.
Well, if you're not having fun doing this, then you're doing it wrong.
That's right. Okay, so I'm just positioning his arm. This is the one holding onto the mobile phone.
Has she got a phone?
Yeah, she's holding onto a mobile.
Oh, she's probably waiting for a tow truck.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's an Italian car.
So, there's not much more I can do with this at the moment because I really want this putty to cure longer. So it's more solid to sand. And then after that, I'll be drilling out some little holes through the arms to put some steel pins into her.
Are you going to do that?
Mm.
Jeez, you really...
I've got to do it properly.
Oh my lord, I thought you said this was going to be done in 2 hours.
What, 2 hours? What are you talking about? Oops. Yeah, so it's going to need a little bit of work. It's not
Little
bad.
bit?
Yep. Locate's pretty good, but just want it to be absolutely perfect.
I'm just rubbing at the back of his seat like an absolute madman.
We're just going to make sure, because she's actually got her thumb in her pocket, so that's a locator there.
She's got the what?
She's got that, see?
Why has she done that?
I'll show you.
I can't see, mate. You're going to have to zoom.
See that? So she's got her hand in her, well, thumb actually, hooked in her pocket. So that's going to help us locate that. Where's the leg?
The masterpiece.
Oh, the masterpiece. There we go. There's the other leg. Alright.
So it's got a fair bit on there. You said to go heavy.
Yeah, it's right. It'll be easy enough to take off. Anything extra? Just want to make sure that we locate that correctly.
I can't believe the mould line on the back of his seat. I'm going to have nightmares about this.
Yeah, I think she's looking alright. Alright, so next time round we'll get the pin vices out ready. So she's going to be like that. The mobile phone.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's a thumb in her pocket there. Oh, it's a bit hard to hold it together when she's all loose. Yep, it's going to look good. Okay, so I'm going to be drilling into her feet as well. We're going to put pins.
What? You're an animal.
What do you mean?
Why do you have to drill into her feet?
Yeah, to make them strong, and then also to put her on a base.
Is she going on a base?
Yeah. How's she going to stand?
I thought we were going to glue her to the car.
Oh, that's going to be a bit hard. Well, we'll have to pin her to the car then.
Are we gonna make a vignette? Is that what you're doing?
I was just going to make a basic base. Just a little wooden base or something. That'll look good, wouldn't it?
I don't know. You're the one driving this boat, mate.
Yep. Yeah, okay, I think the figure's good. We'll leave her here for a moment. Let's check this engine. Okay, so here's the engine, which was black to start with. Yeah?
It's definitely black.
And then we primed it, and now we put the red on it. So the red actually looks really dark. It doesn't match the rest of the car, really. But we just needed that red to appear there, and now we're going to brush paint the rest of it. So the sump, the sides of this is going to be black, so I think it's going to be easy to brush paint it, but we can mask that and spray it with some black if we want. Okay, so we've got that ready.
What are you gonna? What kind of paints are we gonna use?
I think we'll use acrylic paints. Acrylic paints will be the easiest to use.
Are we gonna do a wet palette?
Yep. You're looking forward to that, aren't you?
I'm not sure.
No? Wet palettes are good.
I think you're just a mad scientist that loves mixing colours.
Well, I find it actually is easier. It's less hassle because you're only putting down maybe 5 colours, 6 colours, and then you mix between them and you get all the variations you need. And it looks more natural to start with the variations because you mix all your shadows at the same time. So, for instance, this seat, it's going to have all the shadows in the middle, right? So you do all that in one go. So
aren't we going to use panel lines?
We will use panel lines, but panel lines can be a bit harsh for this. So we'll paint them in as we go.
The seats are done. You can tack that off and
they're ready to prime.
Give them a prime.
Okay, so what have we got here? So we've got the sun visor part of the dash. Have we got the dash itself yet? No.
I don't think so.
Alright, so let's chop the dash out and we'll glue that together. The side cutters. Now the center console, we'll cut that as, this is the right one, isn't it? We're just going to be careful because there's some rally parts in here as well. So K9, yep, that's it. Trim that up. That just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. So we've got that. What else can we do? What's this part of the suspension? Is this suspension?
Suspension.
That looks like part of the roof, yeah? Is it? What's that at the top of the engine? That's a head, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
That looks like the head. What colour is that?
K10 air cleaner.
92 is black. Well, we'll cut that out too. We'll prime that. Alright, so we're just getting everything in preparation for priming.
Louvers. What colour are the louvers going to be?
Louvers are black.
Black?
Yep. So we'll spray them semi-gloss black.
Whatever happened to louvers?
Louvers? I don't know. Fell their fashion, didn't they?
I'd love to have louvers in my car.
Are you sure? They wouldn't suit your car.
I don't know.
Really? What, folding ones?
I'm not sure.
Alright, so what else we got? Where is the handbrake? Where's the G bits? That's B bits.
Handbrake. It's an Italian car, could be anywhere.
C bits.
It's actually Germans that hid the
bits.
handbrake for years, isn't it?
Oh, the Germans hit them?
Germans, yeah.
Why? Well, they're trying to make it into a game.
Well, they often put it on the floor with the release handle in the glove box. And,
Really?
yeah.
Why is that? They're having a joke.
I don't know.
Where's the handbrake? Oh, here. Is that it?
This louvers missing a bit.
What do you mean?
I want to say.
What do you mean?
This doesn't
Doesn't look right.
look right.
Ah. Well, what we'll do is, when the body's dried off a bit, we'll double check the shape.
Do you know what I
and
mean?
we'll shape it before we finally paint it. So that's going to be black anyway, right? So we don't need to prime that. So what do we do here? Let me trim off this the handbrakey bit.
Is it good?
so.
Doing a lot of sanding.
A lot of sanding?
Yeah. Do you do a lot of sanding?
Yeah, sanding is a major part of it.
Yeah?
Yep. I actually sanded a lot of the Mephistopheles. So the engine panels on the side of that car, because the original kit was designed to be die-cast metal, they're really chunky. So I sanded a heap of the edges away to give it that impression of being really thin.
And did it work?
Yeah, it did. And because of that, there's like shavings everywhere. So I was using the God Hand work, the hobby box. And that really treat, because I live in an apartment and sanding in the hobby box actually caught all the little filings. And I've actually collected them. So I should.
What are you going to do with them?
Well, I'm going to throw them out eventually, but I should take a photo of it and show how much filing you actually capture. Because I think most of the time it just goes everywhere. You vacuum it, you don't really realise. But it's a huge help.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now there's a panel line in here. I probably shouldn't sand that off.
Panel line?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just got to be careful around it, I guess. Alright, so how are we going to trim that? Just got to carefully chop this massive knob off.
Oh.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Is it gone?
That was a chop chop. It's gone.
Consider yourself sanded, my friend.
You done? You good?
What else we got? Dash?
I'm going to get you into gluing mode shortly.
Gluing mode.
Yep.
I don't know that I'm allowed to glue.
No?
Well, I can't be sure
What? You don't have the confidence?
that I'm allowed to glue.
Oh, I'm giving you permission.
As long as you promise to fix it.
Well, I don't know if I promise. I don't think I've got much of a choice though, have I?
Not if you want to see this model finished.
Right. See?
I'm going well. Have not lost a finger yet.
No?
How are you going over there?
Yeah, I'm alright. Still got all my fingers.
The poor girl's struggling though. She's lost her leg and her arm.
Yeah.
And you've increased her size a bit, which she's probably not too happy about.
Yeah, well, I'm going to trim it down. Okay, so I'm just scraping off all these mold lines, because some of the mold lines on the smaller bits, they're really just too obvious. So, make it look really fake. So there we go. So we've got the gear shift knob. We've got handbrake handle. Now we'll just clean up this center console.
When was the last time you built a car, Beach?
Last one would have been the food van.
Really?
Yeah. What was that, 3 years ago?
That was a funny car.
What do you mean?
It was funny.
You like it? It's got a bit of a story behind that.
Why?
Because it's a bakery truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the story? I went from the bakery.
Yeah, they went to the bakery, made some food, stuck it in the truck and trying to sell it. With
That's
the dog.
it. With the dog?
Yeah, the dog's there too.
That's not very good for health and safety.
What?
Did it go in the truck?
Well, it's not in the truck, it's outside the truck, but it would have been inside the truck. Just don't tell anyone. If you don't see, you don't know.
Well, I'm
Right?
concerned.
Why are you concerned? I'm just going to rub down some of these
That the
edges
dog
here.
was in the truck with the food.
It's alright. Didn't get much.
Oh. That's why you're not allowed near the fridge.
Me?
Yeah.
What do you mean? I don't lick anything in the fridge.
You do, you're always licking stuff that's not yours. You had some nuts in your mouth as well.
Yeah,
No?
but, you know,
And then you were complaining that
you know what I mean.
Then you were complaining that they were salty.
Well, they were.
What do you think when you eat salted nuts?
Well, if it's in your mouth, it's no one else's, is it?
Well, here we go. You heard it here first.
That's it.
There you go. Trimmed, shaved, and now I'm all messy.
Oh yeah? You don't like the feeling?
It feels funny,
Does it?
don't you think?
Well, it's furry. It's soft. Yeah? Is that what you mean?
I don't know about furry, but...
Alright, so I've got a job for you. See that bit?
Yep.
And that bit?
Fur.
And that bit? You're going to be gluing them together.
Alright.
Alright? So you know which way they go?
No.
If not, just follow the instructions right there. Now I'm going to see
Is it
if we
left hand
can...
or right hand drive?
Hey? It's a lefty.
So I put the handbrake on that side.
So let's see what happens if I try to glue this together. Does this fit?
So do I apply the glue first, or do I hold it together then apply the glue?
Well, normally you hold it together and apply the glue. You just got to be careful it doesn't go all over your fingers.
Can I put the glue underneath? On the nubs?
Hey?
Can I put the glue from underneath on the nubs?
Yeah, you can, because it'll suck it in with capillary reaction. It's a bit of a tricky shape, isn't it? Get this to sit right. Okay, so it's like that. Pretty funky shapes in this car.
What do you mean?
It's funky. So I'm going to glue those together. They'll make another sub-assembly. Now these bits here, you get your super duper sandy things you were using before? What's this one?
How long does the glue take to dry?
Almost instant. What are these, 400? 400 is my favourite.
Is it? I don't think it can be trusted around the 400.
Why? What have I done to it?
Can you put too much glue?
You can. Do you feel like you put too much glue?
Yeah.
Is it going everywhere?
No.
Oh, that looks alright. Looks fine. I wouldn't worry about that at all. Let's trim this off.
How does the handbrake glue in?
Just goes in like a slot, I think. So the two pins are just locators. And just faces forward, yeah? That's what I'm guessing anyway.
Nothing for the... Yeah, but there's nothing for the pins to go into.
Just a slot, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it stay in place?
Not really.
Doesn't it? Oh, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Do I cut you the right thing? Oh, I think I know why. Because they're meant to go into this part of the transmission tunnel there that's got two holes. So maybe you can't glue that yet.
Do you want me to glue it to the transmission tunnel?
Well, it's in the interior colour, so yeah, why not?
Yeah?
Yep. Might as well put it all in there.
Because I imagine it goes in first. Yeah?
Yeah, I reckon.
I'm not so sure.
You're not so sure? Alright, so I sanded that. Alright, so you sanded all these bits here. For the rear wing.
It like melts the model, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's how it goes together.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was going to melt it.
Yeah.
It's a bit stinky.
Is it? Just remember, it's not chloroform.
No, but it's making me hungry.
Oh, is it? Oh, you are a bit different, aren't you? Alright, so we've got that. We've got the firewall. Is there anything on the firewall?
Fire.
I imagine there's a bit of glass that goes in there later.
If only there was like a nice work stand or something.
Yeah, work stand will be handy. Alright, that feels sort of right. So these little sandy things are pretty handy, aren't they? The size.
I'm pretty chuffed with them. Now it's not going to glue my finger to it, is it?
No, that doesn't work. That happens with the next kind of glue that we're going to use.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Limonene?
No.
Not limonene?
No, the cyanoacrylate. No, the limonene stuff doesn't glue very hard at all. It's very gentle glue. It's a citrus-based glue, which is for those who are really sensitive to solvents. But if you can...
I'm quite a sensitive fellow.
Are you? The non-limonene ones are actually I think a better working glue. Okay, so we've got those bits. We've got louvers here, which are sanded already. Got the rear wing, which is sanded. Interesting how they made this wing, isn't it? It's a little tiny wing. I wonder actually Would have done something, don't you reckon? You expect it to have worked.
It would look good if nothing else.
Hmm. Looks like a handle.
A handle?
Hmm. Alright, so we cleaned up that. Alright, so we'll spray that stuff later. What else can we get prepared? So glue that in there?
Yep.
Looks all good?
Do we glue the seats out of the car?
We'll leave the seats out because they're too hard to paint the back of them. Now there's this...
Do you need to prime them?
There's this thing here, G34. Maybe we can glue that in there. We'll try to glue as many things in there as possible. Oh, there's stuff that you have to cut out.
More stuff?
Yeah. See those bits there? They're probably for like the navigators, footrests and stuff. Let me find G34 and see if you can work out a way of cutting those bits out. Is that going to work? Or is it too hard to get in
Cutting
there?
what bits out?
So you see those horseshoe shaped things on the floor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have to cut them off.
Yeah, you're meant to.
Really? That's a bit weird. Why did they put them in there?
Well, that would have been there for the rally version.
Doesn't it have a floor mat that goes down?
Probably not.
Okay.
I reckon. Can you get to them?
Well, I'll get to them, mate. If you tell me I need to get in there, I will get in there.
Well, you don't take that one off. That one stays.
What? I nearly cut the wrong one off.
Yeah. Let me find G34 first, because that's going to use that bit. G34, where is it? G34. G28. What's 34? 34. 39. Numbers are all over the place. 34, here we go. Is it? No, that's 20.
You've lost it.
Oh, that's actually the pedals.
Pedal box. That's a bit deceptive.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you still need those locators on the driver's side, but all the ones that are on the navigator side, they're meant to be chopped off. Because whatever.
Well, it depends whether it's left or right-hand drive, I suppose.
Oh, it's a lefty, isn't it?
Can't we make it right-hand drive?
No, it doesn't have both sides. It'll look weird.
That's a bit silly.
Is it?
We can put the pedals on the passenger side, and put the steering wheel on the other side.
Hey?
Have you done it?
See if that fits.
I can't see it fitting.
No?
Looks too wide.
Is it? So I'm trying to look at the... So, it's meant to sit across the transmission tunnel as well. Alright, let's have a look.
Let's have a look.
Let's have a look over here, like this. So you get pedals like that.
Can you see?
Sort of.
Where's the big pedal go?
Like that.
To the floor.
See that?
Really?
So you just need some glue on the back section there and underneath the accelerator.
They're not really straight though.
Yeah.
Is that the thing?
So if you make it straight.
We'll have to cut that thing off.
What thing off?
The little dunga.
No. There you go. Just have to
Yeah?
sit in the spot. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Has to sit on a dunga.
Yep. Alright, so what else we got here? Right, so the firewall here, I'm meant to chop off these markings here because they're probably for the racing harnesses.
We're not using racing harnesses?
No. Just chop them off.
You're definitely not driving.
What do you mean?
My hands feel all weird.
What do you mean your hands feel all weird? What, did you get some stuff on it?
What stuff? No, I think
Glue.
it's the powder.
Oh!
It's like talcum powder.
Is that what you meant?
I'm pretty sure that's what I meant.
Alright, so that's cleaned off.
How are we looking there, Beach?
I think it looks alright. It's clean. It's clean. Alright, so we chop that off. Put the center consoles in. Alright, so that's the interior pretty much done, yeah?
Well, it's not really. Look at it.
What do you mean?
We got pedal box and this It's not much of an interior.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Gotta get the, what about the carpet nubs?
The carpet knobs.
These
Oh, the
ones.
carpet knobs.
The ones that we have to cut off.
Oh, those things. Over this side. Yeah.
There's no floor panel to go in there?
No. Oh, so they're telling us we're meant to fill in these holes here.
How can you read that?
What do you mean? Because it says so. It says fill holes.
Oh,
Oops. Yeah, it's a bit tricky, isn't it?
a little bit.
Bit hard to get in here.
Lucky you're here to fix the day. Do you want me to get the Dremel?
No, no Dremel yet.
No?
No, that's the last thing we do.
Why?
Because everything goes bad when the Dremel comes out. That's doing major repairs.
Is it?
It is. You should know that. Do that on an RC car, there's major repairs going on, isn't it? Alright, so we've got most of this sort of chopped. It's going to be hard to clean it up though.
What are we going to do with the steering wheel?
Steering wheel? Well, that'd be black, I reckon. Don't you reckon?
And a column?
And the steering column. That'll probably be black.
It's pretty minimalist interior, if I'm honest.
It is, isn't it? Well, it is a race car.
No, it's not. It's a Stradale.
Yeah, but it's designed from a race car. It's like an F40.
F40?
Doesn't have much in it.
My Hyundai Getz is loaded.
Is it?
Yeah.
What, loaded with the mod cons? Is that what you mean?
It's got Bluetooth,
Yeah.
cruise control,
Yeah.
you name it.
Has it got a laser display?
It did have.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh. Why doesn't it have one now?
It broke.
You broke? Oh, you're silly, aren't you? Alright, so actually I've been able to clean off most of this with these side cutters. It's taken off a lot. The rest of it we can clean up with some sandpaper, I think.
And then I think we should call that a wrap on the episode.
I reckon.
Can I touch this? I'm touching it.
You can touch it. Alright, so was there anything else that
It's
we
always
wanted
good
to
to
prime?
get consent before you just go and stick your fingers in.
That's right. What else do we want to do? So this is meant to be red here.
Ready, red.
So I might as well try spraying the red on it now, yeah?
Are we just going to... Aren't you going to do this in undercoat first?
This bit.
Yeah.
Should I?
Are we going to colour it? Are we going to make it like a tan brown?
Well, I guess if I put the red on it, it'll have some paint on it. It won't be totally like matte style, but we'll still be able to paint over it. I reckon we'll skip a step. We won't do the primer on this. We'll just
Okay.
go the red. And we'll see how we go. Yeah?
Okay.
All
Go
right.
red.
So how much of this red do we need?
Go red, Fred.
Well,
Do you want some tape?
Actually.
Firewall.
Firewall goes in here, right?
What about the engine?
So there should be... Aren't there some struts that go across here? I can't see any holes. Are there meant to be holes here? Is that meant to be this way? Oh, the holes are on this side. So it goes like that.
Mm. It's looking good. How well does it all fit together?
Pretty good. Okay, so let me spray the red, eh? So the red, how much of this is red?
Red,
A lot of
red.
it. Okay,
Okay.
do the red. Switch on the power.
And then we'll call it.
And we'll call it, yep.
Batten down the hatches.
Okay, so I'm just going to focus on the back section.
Yep.
So just around here.
The subframe. Looking good. Going straight from pink to red. No?
Yep.
Don't go quiet.
I'm concentrating.
I keep thinking that you've buggered it up.
Nothing's buggered.
No?
Nah, it's all good. I think that's good enough.
You sure?
I reckon.
I don't know.
It's covered everything, yeah?
It's pretty covered. I'd call that a liberal coating.
It's pretty liberal, yeah? So I'm not going to worry about thin coats on this because I'm going to barely see it.
You hose it on.
Yeah, I hosed it on. Okay, but you got to be careful that you don't do the super hose because that starts dripping and it looks absolutely ugly. You can see that, that's pretty heavy, isn't it?
I don't know, I think it's nice. I call it a wet coat.
Wet coat, it's a wet coat. Okay, so we're going to park this aside, we'll let it all dry off.
Wetter than an otter's pocket.
You and your otters. You got a lot of otters, haven't you?
Yeah.
So,
park them next to my
here
sables.
we go. That's where we're at. So we've got the bulk of the body painted.
We have.
We've got the chassis in preparation, we're doing the interior. Engine bay is getting done.
The legs are getting worked on.
Yep.
Aren't
There's
they?
a little box for the sump. I need to put this on something so that it can dry. So I might just leave it here too.
In the spraying booth.
Yep, just sit there.
Don't knock it off.
No. There we go.
Fantastic,
so that is
guys.
part 3. Thanks for joining us.
Part 3 of the Hasegawa Lancia Stratos Stradale.
That's
build.
it. With the resin figure of the Italian girl.
Well, we're from Hearns Hobbies, and thanks for watching.
Thank you. See you next time.